Use paper clip.
We'll call the January 6th, 2020 Management Services meeting to order. We have a change. We need to move Chris up to below public comment.
To the what?
Above public comment. He's got to get going. He's got no heat or something going on over at the courthouse.
That'll all cool them off.
So with that change, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Yes. So moved.
Second? Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Public comments. Are there any public comments? Seeing none. Chris, you're up.
Thank you. Like I said, I have a 10 o'clock appointment, and then I just got a call 15 minutes ago that I haven't been in the courthouse building yet, and they said it's a little bit chilly over there, so I have no idea what that's about yet. I need to go over there. Just real quick here, stuff I had this month. Over here at the admin building, honestly, it was pretty smooth sailing over here. Had an issue with these fire alarm doors out here. I was able to fix that. Your event is ordered. I need to pick it up. Workforce development, they're moving down into that far east office. They're taking that over as well.
Who is?
Workforce development, they're going to be using this one and that far one. They had their floors refinished, and they paid for it. It was done this past Saturday. They got a bid for it, and they took care of it themselves, and so nothing out of our budget or anything. They took care of that. Snow removal, there was 3 dates this month, or in December rather, sorry, the 11th, 16th, and 31st that needed addressed here. One of them I did alone. It wasn't much, and then 2 the hired help had come in and help. I'm keeping track of everything for snow removal this year, just so we can see at the end of the year what we spent, and how much salt we used, the hours used by our part-time guy. Just kind of interested to compare there at the end of the year and see the advantage of doing it ourselves. When you eventually get to claims, I did purchase a walk-behind and salt spreader. I was using a $25 garden broadcast spreader from Big R, and it wasn't cutting it. I ordered something that's actually specific for spreading salt. It's got pneumatic tires, and it holds 100 pounds of salt, and it's much better. It was getting pretty frustrating. Some quick stuff over the courthouse and jail. Had to swap out a security camera that went down over there. I had to have Agent Kingdon come in from Kingdon's and repair a defrost timer on, there's a big freezer in the jail kitchen that shorted out, and he ordered me a new one and fixed that for me. There's a washing machine that broke, and those are fairly new. I have a service contractor, that's what I'm looking for here. For 5 years, anything goes wrong, they fix it free, and so that's getting utilized. The jail door, the back door project that I mentioned is finished now. That should be on the claims there as well. But there are a couple modifications we're going to do in the next couple months. There's something we want to change with the handle, the way it operates on the inside, so we're not 100% done with that yet. Jail elevator, dumbwaiter, that is still in the process of being fixed. The cable for it it's been ordered, and I'm waiting for it to complete that job. Also on there, one of the claims, I ordered some hydraulic cylinders for my V-plow. I have one cylinder that's pretty leaky, and I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but I want to have things on hand so when they break, I can fix them myself. So I ordered 3 new cylinders for that plow, a lift cylinder and then the 2 V ones, just to have on hand. They can be rebuilt, but I just want to swap them out if it goes bad. So there's a claim for those on there if you're wondering what the hydraulic cylinders were. But if I'd like to have stuff on hand. Other than that, just routine stuff. So if you have any questions, go.
Don't see any. Yep. Go take care of your heat.
Thank you.
All right,
See you guys.
we'll move on to discussion and action on fertilizer bids. I have a relative on the board of one of them that has submitted bids, so I will be abstaining. So. Start with Tri-Central.
Your relatives from Tri-Central? What company?
Does it matter?
You know, Spain,
I'm not mentioning that because then that could,
Wait,
yeah. Okay.
I know you want to get good with the chairman.
Some days.
Okay, this is Tri-Central, total amount of bid, $40,813. Something that did come up in the process of this is, it had never been asked before, somebody asked, and yes, they do have to pay prevailing wage from anybody that touches the farm. It's never been asked before.
Actually, I think we're supposed to say
Prevailing
that.
wage.
I think that should
You
be.
mean the guy that spreads the fertilizer? They have to pay that driver, that trucker, prevailing wage?
Stuff comes in.
And what would the prevailing wage be in that?
That is up to them to find that out.
You don't need a job, you know.
No, I just think that's,
Donovan Farmers Co-op, $32,548. United Prairie. Got two, one bid for the low rate, one for the high. I believe the others were all. So we have to look and see what rate they're putting on.
All different rates. I thought we meant just that one would be a high bid and one would be a low bid. Why
No,
would you accept that the high bid?
yeah.
there was a
I'm sorry.
maintenance and a build-up rate.
Okay.
I think both of those is the same maintenance, but double check that. The high rate for United Prairie is 28,287.53. The low rate is 17,414.80.
Are they all putting up with that?
No, I was just gonna say that. So really, we need to throw that low rate out, so that they're all comparing the same thing.
Well, okay, yes,
Well, you go on the soil test results, there's, like you said, there's a kind of a high rate and a low rate. The low rate, basically maintenance, is what we've been doing for the last couple of years that we've had it. The prevailing wage thing should have been sent out in a letter,
it should have, it didn't come up till later.
so I can't go with my bid that I put in by that because it wasn't stated in the letter.
We tried to contact everybody and, well, how many hours would they be working, do you think?
Probably close to, I'd say 4, if everything went right.
Okay. Because from what I was told, it would be approximately $60 an hour. So at that, I think it's still a low bid. So,
I mean, I went by with.
yeah, I know, and we
everything
tried
on
to
here,
get
but
it.
You know, so it's not, all right, so anything that touches the county farm, so does that include your truck drivers hauling it? And everybody that's and the guy out in the field?
The guy spreading and the truck driver delivering. Because for the fertilizer, you won't have an end loader there, that'd be
Right.
just for line.
Right.
So,
It's the low one, I
Um,
guess.
so, and I apologize, I mean, it came up on New Year's Eve, somebody asked the question. And I was able to get a hold of the state's attorney, but we weren't able to get a hold of anybody else to get the word out, because I didn't have, so then Friday, they tried calling around to the people, and so it just all kind of, but,
So if you're talking $60 an hour, let's say they're paying them 15, maybe 20, that's the $45, for $40 more. Times, what'd you say, 4 hours, 6 hours?
Six would be, is gonna be on,
Trucker?
yeah, six would be on the high side, four for the truck.
Okay. Let's say 5 hours, right down the middle. That's $200.
Oh, fine. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, your truck driver's gonna get paid, you know, whatever the trucking rate is, and then, you know, so basically you're doubling, so you're gonna have $500.
500.
I don't know what prevailing wage is, I'm just throwing numbers out.
Yeah, well, he just said approximately $60 an hour,
Right.
right?
and what I was told, it depends on what size load they're carrying.
So if we added $500 on, no? Okay.
No, I think we should send them out and, sorry, ask for a rebid. I know it's a pain, but at the same time, good
Yeah,
point.
right, I mean,
Everybody
you
needed
know-
to know that,
Right.
so that it was across the board, and to do it right, I think that's what we need to do. And probably it's gonna end up with the same things, but you know what?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that is that now these bids are out there.
Well,
Yeah.
And
It's
which
public knowledge.
puts him at a disadvantage, because now these guys see what his bid was, and it's our screw up.
Can I make a suggestion, the next time you send a letter out, most everybody's got a copy of the soil test results and stuff, what needs to be done. State in the letter, use the low rate fertilizer, I mean, cause,
Yeah, well, and the next time, I think it'll be a new soil test, so. And
can
that
that be included in the soil testing, cause we have outfits we work
yeah,
with too, so.
I mean, it'll be put out for bid just the same as this, so, put them on the list to make sure that they get.
So what do you want to do? Now that it's public knowledge that they're out
Right.
there, you know, we might as well just figure it in, you know, that's what I say, you know, and come up with an answer. Hey, John.
So is the guy actually putting the fertilizer on, is he considered an equipment operator? So that scale of range is huge, depending on what type of.
well, and the new prevailing wage will start, goes out this month.
Well, and I was told sometimes it'll change monthly, other times it'll stay the same for 2 years.
Okay.
These higher estimates, were they people aware that they had to pay prevailing wage?
Those two were, yes, because those were ones that had called me specifically with questions, so I knew they were bidding, and I couldn't get a hold of someone here to find out who else was bidding at the time.
So the lower rate is just considered a maintenance type?
Yeah.
Yeah, the high rate is a build up. Well, we have a little bit of time, you know, as far as.
Yeah, we should. I wish you would have spoke up before we opened it. Yeah, you know, next time don't be scared, just blurt it out there.
All right, apparently I cannot get a signal out of here, or else the state's attorney's office is having trouble with their phones, because I can't get through.
No, I don't have to.
So, yeah, it could be more serious problems than just the heat.
The ones that didn't figure in the prevailing wage, can they,
Well, those two
What is
did.
their high rate?
yeah, but I mean, like you guys said, they didn't,
Correct.
can they, they can bid, or not really?
Well, I mean, we couldn't ask them to do that without knowing exactly what the rate is and the hours and the people that are involved in it, so.
Yeah, because we're about $4,000 difference. Is it gonna cost $4,000 to pay prevailing wage?
I wouldn't think so, but without checking, I don't know.
Okay, so those two were aware of the prevailing wage.
Yes.
Well, then let's stand with what their bids are, have him redo his bid, and then we'll compare them again. He's the only one that didn't know. We can do it
Right.
that way.
Okay.
And that way, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you're aware, but you know what? If you find out you're gonna lose your tail on this, I'm sure I mean,
Back out.
you'll back out gracefully, of course.
How many acres we talking?
400.
Because the other two were aware, he was
Yeah.
not. I think that would be the fair way to handle the situation.
Okay.
Does that sound fair to you? Does that sound fair to everybody else?
Yeah.
So we'll just keep it tabled till next month, wait for his bid to come back in, no changes to those, and
Do you wanna do that? Would you be able to have it by Tuesday, do you think, or not?
You're talking next Tuesday?
Next, a
Yeah.
week from, yeah. I mean, do we just wanna do it at full board meeting?
do that.
Yeah, I can have something by next Tuesday, that's fine. Give me something to figure out.
Yeah, it gives you a little over a week. Hopefully, that's enough time. And if it ends up that you don't want to do it, then just let Amanda know.
Okay.
That way we can go forward. All right. Well, I'm glad you came.
Well, yeah, I was, like I said, sorry for confusing this stuff, but
No, I knew, once I got that call asking, I knew it was gonna be a problem.
so is this something new that just started, or is that something that should have been in place, or how's that?
Apparently, it should have been in place. Nobody had ever asked the question.
Is it just because the county owns the farm?
Yes, because it's on, because we pay for it, even though the farmer eventually reimburses us because we pay the money. And because it's going on the county ground, which, and I don't know how
That's
come.
fine.
Right, but then does the farmer have to pay prevailing wage to all his employees?
What he does is his business because he bids it for us, so
He rents it.
he rents it, right, so,
That was something that was,
no.
because if he's got to pay prevailing wage, ain't nobody gonna farm it.
No.
He rents it,
Yeah.
so,
I think farming is exempt from it too, isn't it? Minimum
I
wage.
don't know. Farming exempt from it?
I think it is.
I think so, I mean, we're not bound by any.
Well, no, Well,
Well, other,
minimum wage you would have to pay.
right,
Prevailing wage, you're not government, so.
not union or
So
anything.
why doesn't the farmer take care of this, and then send us a bill for half?
No, they pay for all of it.
There's a good answer to that, because we don't trust the farmer.
Oh.
In the past, yeah, it's been an issue of wanting to make,
Cash rent,
especially,
pay for all the fertilizer.
Okay.
and especially with cash rent, because
Oh, it's cash rent, why doesn't the farmer pay for everything?
He is. We
They
want
are.
to see,
But we don't pay for it in the beginning, you know.
Well, we do pay for
we
it.
bill him, what we pay out, we bill him.
what
We
can,
want to make sure what goes on.
what can historically happen is somebody cash rents a farm for
Then
3
run it
years,
down.
runs down the fertilizer, moves on,
Yeah,
And then
okay, I've heard of that, yeah.
so,
Just heard of,
I see, I think, I understand now.
Well, their entire fertilizer plant is, revolves around sludge.
Mhm. Okay.
okay, so, I guess, would you like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion that we ask United Prairie to resubmit their bid with prevailing wage since they weren't aware of it, and have that information to us by Tuesday.
I'll second.
By the Tuesday board meeting?
Tuesday board meeting, January,
before 9 AM.
14th, I think. Isn't it?
no,
That's 19 calendar.
yeah,
year.
13th, 14th?
Is there a second? We're not actually spending money at this point, so all in favor?
All right.
All opposed? Okay, sorry for the confusion, thank you for coming,
Yeah, no problem, glad we got it all cleared up.
and,
Have
yeah,
something to you next week.
as far as the fertilizer, the soil testing, I believe this is the 3rd year, so at the end of this year, we'll be getting it tested, I think.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yep, that'd be fine. Irregardless who gets the soil testing, you'd want to make sure that they do a yearly recommendation on it, so we're not fighting what we have.
Yeah, it
We
was,
had that last year.
uh,
Didn't we have that last year, the recommendation?
we're working on the same soil test for 3 years.
It's the same soil test, so I mean, you're better off with the soil types that are out here doing a fertilizer application every year, and just maintain and build accordingly to that.
All right.
All right, thank you.
I don't know that Amanda necessarily even needs to put their bid in the minutes to simplify things, because that'll, I think, just cause confusion when he gives us the new bid. Just say that it was,
Just say they were open, and we'll read all of them at the time.
yeah, maybe that would be easier. Because I think if you put all those different numbers in there, everybody's gonna get lost.
Okay. Anybody got anything else on farm management issues? Seeing none, county bathroom improvements. Chris isn't here. I asked him to go ahead and start measuring bathrooms because eventually we're gonna have to do it, whether it's USDA or not. I mean, we are technically not handicap accessible, and Disabilities Act has been in force since '92, so, you know.
Are you talking about just their bathroom, or all of them in the roof, in the building?
We need to look at everything,
Yeah.
because state law just said that all of them have to have diaper changing things in them, which most do, but this one doesn't. So we need to go through and just get the bathrooms up to what they should be with all state and federal regulations. You know, it's something we are not gonna get done this year, but we need some pricing so we know what to budget for next year, I think.
Isn't there a state law too that got passed that we have to provide bathrooms for LGBTQ bathrooms?
Was that also?
I think that's I think that's another layer of the 255 new laws.
I think you can get by with, if you have a family bathroom though, isn't that right?
Yeah.
I think as long as you call one bathroom a family bathroom.
Yeah.
And then I think too that, are you sure every bathroom has to be handicapped accessible, or as long as you, I mean, in a building this size? I think that as long as you have one that fits that need, I don't know that you have to have every one of them.
But none of them at this point.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, rather than dive into looking at,
I
revamp
think
all of
you're
them.
right. I think what I found was that one would have to be,
I think it depended on your like square footage and everything, and how many people were actually in the building, as to how many had to be that way.
yeah, well, and depending on the day, how many people come through here.
Yeah, but averaging things, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know that every bathroom here. would
And,
be that.
and as far as the family bathroom, I talked to Chris and we were looking at the janitor's closet down there. And it seems like it would be big enough to make into a handicap sized family bathroom. And what we would have to do is have a doorway come in from the hallway, and we could put a wall so he would have a smaller
Janitors.
janitor's closet, but then that would isolate, there's some fuse boxes in there, so that, those would be in the janitor's closet and still be big enough. And it would be fairly simple. I mean, you're gonna, if we're tearing up the other floor, it's just under the wall and over to there, so I mean, if we're gonna have to tear something up, that's the time to do it. But yeah, we need to find out what all we're required to do now, and
Yeah.
hopefully get a plan by the end of the fiscal year so we can do it for next year. Any questions on that? That kind of pretty much takes care of USDA improvements. I have not heard any updates on Watsika flooding. So that puts us down to claims.
Right, they're not here. They were kind of flooded.
Anybody got questions on the claims? We took care of them? Homefield Hamlet contract rep?
Yes.
We need that up.
Okay, I'll place it together.
Just looking, while you guys are doing that, for future, we're gonna have NICOR in July, Mansfield Energy in July, and the garbage contract in July. So those will be things in the next couple months we'll have to start working on. questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the claims.
For a second.
I'll second
Let's take the roll when you're ready.
Alt,
Yes,
Bowers,
Yes.
Suhalt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Aaron's.
Yes. Is there any old business?
Did we ever decide anything on the parking lot over at the jail? As far as what we were gonna do, resurfacing there,
Is that on our budget for this year?
I don't know.
I thought the north half was, maybe I'm wrong. Blacktop thing.
Okay, well, we will, if it's budgeted for this year, we'll have to put that on the agenda for next year to put bids out. That should be plenty early enough, I would think.
Yeah.
Is there anything new about that, the solar system that was supposed to be just for us? It was supposed to be bids done by now, or it's accepted our bid or rejected it? We gave them a time limit at one time, and we're going on to something else if they did.
The contract said that they had so many month option. And I think at this point, we wanna just let it expire and not do anything.
Isn't that about up then?
I think it's been August or something.
Really?
Yeah,
It was 18 months or something.
I didn't think it was that long, I guess.
Have we heard any more from them?
No, but with our new electric contract, it's actually less than the rate that they were gonna charge us. So, we pretty much don't wanna,
rock the boat.
yeah, just let it go away.
I know that one meeting we were gonna attempt to maybe contact them, but
But then once we got that electric contract and I got looking at it, and it's like, well, it doesn't make sense for us to do it.
yeah,
Because it's gonna tie up a few acres of ground and it's gonna cost us more money, so even if it is free.
yeah.
Unless somebody can show me the math where we're not paying the delivery fees or something, that could change it, but as far as actual rate, our contract is less than what it would be,
Yeah.
so.
Anything more put together about a tiling project for that one corner that's through
Um,
the city?
That's the city of Watsika. I have nothing, nobody's given me anything on that, nobody's here. I don't know anything more about it, so at this point, unless somebody gets me some kind of figures or something.
How was it left? We're looking for new figures?
They had to come back to us and stuff, and
Okay.
they haven't, so.
In other words, we're gonna let them flood.
Okay. Any new business? Motion to adjourn,
I'll make a motion.
for a second.
Yeah.
All in favor? We are adjourned.